Relay Radio. I'm your host, Derek Dreyer. To my right is my co-host, Daniel Hong. We will be lighting the torch of knowledge to bring you exhilarating insights, expert tips, and inspiring stories.
Immerse yourself in the world of business, entrepreneurship, as we pass the baton of knowledge, empowering you to sprint towards greatness.
Today's episode will be our first internal episode with one of our employees. That is Dakota Baze.
Hello.
So Dakota actually joined us maybe a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota previously was one of my employees at Alphalete. Hired her. I want to say you were like the second or third person that I hired at Alphalete, and then you went on to become a manager there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you moved on to become a manager over at Anaka, and then you approached us and asked if we were hiring, and of course, here we are now.
Yeah, full circle moment.
So yeah, now Dakota is helping us head up product development for one of the branches of our company. And yeah, we're excited to have her here and excited to do some great things.
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey.
Yeah, so
6 years.
We plan on doing I know, right?
That's wild to
6
think about
years.
the fact that I've known you for 6 years. Yeah.
Dang.
That's crazy.
It's been a while.
That's right. Yeah.
And here we are.
Almost 6 years. 2018.
Yeah.
So 5.
2018.
Yeah.
And here we are. We'll keep the structure of this the same. We'll still run through the relay. We'll do a warm up. We'll talk about personal, social. You are dabbling in some entrepreneurial journeys, so we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about some goals and whatnot. But we're really excited to do this. Like I said, we want to do more stuff with our employees as well to one, get to know you guys on a deeper level, and then also showcase you guys and what building a team here is all about at Relay.
That boy rubbing his legs too.
Yeah.
The rubbing started.
I'm like, I'm in my bag. All right, let's do this warm up. All right, let's put 30 seconds on the clock here.
Oh, is this the trivia show?
Yep.
I know 2 of these. I think I know all 3. No, I know 3.
Okay.
Do you have the answer?
There's only 4 questions. There's usually like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I know 3.
I don't think Austin has confidence that you're gonna even make it past the 4th question.
Honestly, I have no confidence either.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
What country were the first scented candles created in?
I would say Europe,
What are the 5 oceans?
Atlantic, Pacific, Antarctic, Mediterranean.
Why are you getting nervous?
No.
One more. You forgot one more.
I know. Well, now I lost my. Damn. I don't know. I can't think of the
How many number 1 songs has Drake had on the Hot 100?
100.
Is that it? Is that the
It's
number?
1 away from Michael.
When was the Declaration of
I know. I
Independence
thought it was
signed?
100. Right?
Declaration of Independence. When was it signed?
1804.
1904.
Damn, 1900s.
Oh my God, Dakota, you got 0.
I know.
0, yeah.
Wait, what was? Okay, well, run me through the answers because now I want to know.
You missed Indian Ocean,
Oh, yeah, I was never gonna get that.
and then India was where the first scented candle.
I almost said Asia. But
12 Hot 100 songs.
12?
12.
Like
Dakota
number
said
1?
100.
Hot 100, yeah. Hot 100 is a different.
Then
category.
Billboard?
Number 1
Yeah.
songs. How many number 1 songs? Maybe he's had like 100 on there.
He's had hundreds,
Yeah.
but like Hot 100, I feel like is a different category. It's like
Yeah.
time frame, plays.
I'm going to ask you
I was
when the
thinking
Declaration of Independence was signed again.
1964.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not the civil rights.
Oh, no.
Not the civil rights. Declaration when U.S. declared their
4th.
independence.
July
July 4th.
1776.
1776.
Jeez.
17?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should.
I haven't heard that question since like freshman year of college.
Since
Me.
college, you should have learned that in like middle school.
I mean, yeah, but that was like the last refresher that I had.
College you going to? Well, speaking of college, yeah, where did you go to college? Let's talk about your personal life.
I went to college. Did my first year at Hawaii, the University
Hawaii?
of Hilo. Yeah.
She said it. She talked about it. That's kind of dope.
Yeah. So I played soccer 1 year there. Then it got too expensive and I dipped.
I never knew that. Why did you choose Hawaii?
They approached me. The coach we did this tournament every year for Thanksgiving, and it was like this really big like college tournament. You basically did it.
Were you going to high school in Houston at the time?
No, I was in California.
California, okay.
So we actually traveled to Vegas to play this tournament. And it was like a collegiate, like all of the college coaches would come, and that's like basically how you would get sponsored. So we played that tournament, I think, for like 8 years, just so that they would get to know us. And then like my senior year of high school is when the coach from Hilo, she reached out to me, and we got in contact and stuff like that. And I had 2 other options, but my dad, he traveled, like he was in the military and stuff, so he was like, you should go, like you should do this opportunity. I mean, if it's like we technically got in-state tuition because Hawaii gives in-state tuition to the 5 most western states in the U.S. So tuition was like pretty much the same. It was really like living that cost the most. But my dad really pushed me to go and like have that adventure. But then his job moved him to Texas, so that's kind of why we made the switch, because it would have been like 18 grand a year or something.
So you went 1 year to Hawaii.
Yeah, so I did my freshman year, and then I switched and went to...
And that freshman year is where you learned the Declaration of Independence date?
Yeah. Yeah, so don't go to school. Don't go to school there.
Hawaii a little behind.
Yeah, like, they're just out there, you know? Like, they're just floating, so I don't know.
Okay. And then, so what position did you play in soccer?
Well, I played defense all of my life, which is contradictory to my height, apparently. That's when I learned that in college.
Yeah, you got to be tall.
Usually, yeah, so usually you have to be tall, which is why I wasn't approached by very many coaches. Even though I had, like, a lot of accolades in high school and, like, our club soccer team and stuff like that. Like, we were pretty much number one here, like, in our town, and then LA is where we traveled to play. So, but because of that, when I went to college, they already had like a stacked like defensive team or line, I guess. So then I played midfield and forward a little bit, which was like a huge shock for my body because I don't run that much. I don't even be doing all that.
Yeah, like a complete change.
But then I ended up
You just stay still.
most of the time. I mean, you don't have to like run, especially like midfield. You have to like go up and like be a supporting member to like the forwards, and then you have to go back and do the same thing to defense. So it's like,
Daniel don't know.
yeah. So it's too much for the field. So then I did that for like a few games, but then the coach kind of like realized that my strength was actually in the defense. So that's why I played that year, and then when I switched to the college that I went to in Texas, in a little spit town called Wichita Falls.
What is it?
Where's that?
Midwestern State. It's like
Falls is like by Fort Worth, I think. Right?
and it's like 4 hours from 2 hours from
Like
Fort Worth or
north,
something.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an hour from Oklahoma. It's
This
like
is so big. I don't even know this.
you would
It's like North Texas, yeah.
yeah, don't ever go there. But they have a college there. And it's D2, and like I played there for a year. I didn't like the coach, and I was just like I found fitness that year. It was like 2014, 2015. So then after that I was like, yeah, like I'll be good. Like I'll still do
wanna work
fitness,
out.
and yeah, I'm not gonna do anything with this afterwards. And he was gonna be there for a long time, so I was like,
What was it like living in Hawaii?
it was honestly a little scary. We had a tsunami scare, but I mean, it didn't obviously do anything. But I remember my dad was like, "Did you watch the news?" Like, I was like, "No, we don't have TV out here. Like, what are you doing?" No. So we had to like hide at the school because the school was on like the top, like the highest hill in our city. So everyone like pretty much migrated to the school. It was just an adventure, honestly. I think the college that I went to is not like the big college that's in Maui, even though they're both like abbreviated the same. But being on the Big Island is very like local. Like You don't see a lot of tourists. It's very overgrown, super green. It's very, very beautiful. And we got in with some of the locals there who went to school there and like played soccer and everything. So we would go on like these back-rooted like tours and jump off of water cliffs and like all this stuff. Like it was pretty crazy.
Sounds like
it
a
was,
dream.
It was a dream. When I think
poke
back of it,
every
I'm
day.
like, I can't believe I
You got to
like
do that.
lived through that. Yeah.
Just eat poke and spam musubi every day.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we did. Because the groceries at Walmart were way too expensive for any of that.
You
That's
talk
my
about-
goal.
Talk about food all day.
Yeah.
Dude, that's my goal is to go to Hawaii and eat poke.
It's so fresh, so good.
Yeah.
And the whole island like smells like that or like coffee and chocolate, and that's pretty much it.
Coffee and
Yeah.
chocolate.
Or fish.
Yeah, fish. Everything
Okay.
smelled like fish.
What?
That's nasty.
What? Jesus.
Look, you have Derek rubbing his leg already.
Yeah, he makes me nervous.
Make me
Okay.
nervous.
Maybe it's when I'm nervous.
What was your you said your dad was in the military. What was your upbringing like?
Honestly, it was amazing. I think my dad and my mom both, they've always been super supportive. I think,
You're an only child?
no, I have a brother, a younger brother. So it was just me and him, and my brother's my best friend now, but before when, we were growing up, it wasn't always like that. But we didn't have a whole lot. I remember like there were times when we could, like my parents couldn't even pay the electricity bill. Like we were dirt shit poor. But we always had a roof over our head. We always had stuff to eat, and they made it the best. Like what we never knew until like I grew up. Like I didn't ever really realize that.
Yeah.
So I think looking back on it, I'm like, dang, like they really provided every single thing that they could. Like,
You know, I always say this too with millennials. I feel like we're like probably the last generation of kids that felt the struggle from like the immigration or like just the parent struggling phase,
yeah,
where we have a better appreciation of like what our parents did for us
Yeah.
because of that.
because if you think about it, I mean, a lot of the things that we have today were not around even when we were kids.
That's
like,
correct. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like my parents didn't have the internet. They didn't like the iPhone came out when I was in like 6th grade or 7th grade or something. Like, and growing up on a soccer team, like everyone else was high middle class, like
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah,
There's always-
especially like those club sports are expensive.
very expensive. Like my dad cleaned pools when he was like when we were growing up, kind of. And the owner of the club team that I was on had a pool, and that was their deal. Like he cleaned their pool, and I played soccer, and that's how like he afforded it, pretty much.
I always see these memes. There's like meme pages, but there's a meme page just for nostalgia of the 90s.
Yeah,
And it's like everything was so amazing during the 90s. It
It's
really was,
crazy.
bro. Like
I wonder if everybody like says that about the generation they grew up in, though.
I think
don't-
so.
Like the era.
I
I
mean,
don't
think the
if
people
you
today
look,
would.
Decade, whatever.
I mean, if you look back on like, I'm not talking about the 2000s. I'm talking about like 90s and like older,
80s,
like the 80s, the 70s. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I was like raised in the generation of like the mafia. Like it-
50s, like the
It
50s?
sounds so cool. Like organized
do you
crime.
think you would have been in
I
it?
really feel yeah.
You would have been
no,
a
definitely.
triad.
I really do feel like we have all of these petty crimes nowadays because of no organized crime. If you think about it, like organized crime is what controlled the streets. They didn't allow all of these like we're kind of going on a tangent, but they didn't allow like soldiers to commit like stupid shit. Like if you look at what's happening in California or like now it's coming to Houston where people are just robbing the malls and shit. Like back in the day, they didn't do that shit. Like my
You're saying the civilians are actually safer when there's organized crime.
1,000% because like there's consequences.
Targeted.
Yeah, there's more consequences because like back in the day in the 50s and the 30s and the 40s, like one of their codes of like the Italian mafia is like you never touch women and children. Like you don't do that shit. Like it's always about the men. You handle it like you standing on business, and then you
Slips
don't,
in a dry cleaner.
and you don't fuck around.
Now it's the opposite, I feel like, right?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, like
for all.
women are especially women are targeted like everywhere that
Crazy.
you go.
Crazy.
Like I've heard just horror stories of people going to the grocery store, like Target and all of this other stuff, and I'm just like, you can't even. You have to be paying attention 100% of the time. Like, can't be on your phone, like none of this stuff. So
Yeah, the 90s were definitely like, dude, shit was sweet back in the
like
day,
the
bro.
90s.
Like,
sweet.
like
My
when you
mom-
get like a fucking Happy Meal, or like you play in the what is it? Those like playpens and like McDonald's,
balls.
the
ball pit.
balls and shit, the ball
Yeah.
pit. Like, dude, Those are the Peter Piper Pizza. Those are like the days, bro.
Yeah.
They don't
Those are
have
so
that shit.
My mom asked me the other day. She was like, "What are those little coin things that y'all used to play with when you were growing up? Pogs. Do you remember
Oh
Pogs?
my gosh, yes, freaking Pogs,
Yeah.
bro. Trading card. I used to have Pogs, trading cards.
Pokemon cards. Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. Like that was basketball cards. Remember we used to trade.
Those were
basketball cards?
big. Those were
Yeah,
big. Like kids would bring their collections like in the little laminated.
Yeah,
Bro, like,
yeah.
I
The
would-
binder and shit.
Yeah.
I probably had like if I would have kept all my Pokemon cards, like I probably
would have been
had,
a
like
millionaire
six figures
just from
worth,
selling
Yeah.
cards.
like 100%.
Yeah, I would have been very.
They all got
off just
stolen
selling
from me.
cards. Yeah. No, I mean it's like so weird nowadays, like with kids. But I always say, like every podcast we do, it's always been like millennials that we've done. I feel like we're older, and we always talk about that. I mean, I always bring that point up. Is like the
I'd
'90s.
say like Marco's the youngest. one.
probably Marco's probably the youngest. He was like 22, so he's the Gen Z. But like, I mean, yeah, it's just so different now. But anyways, keep.
I feel like we had like the best of both worlds, right?
We
Like,
do,
We
'cause-
had it. We had it before all of this.
We
like,
saw dial-up.
social media stuff, and we got to really enjoy our childhood, and then we got to grow up into this era
Yeah.
of everything. So you
Or
get
even
to
like internet,
Yeah.
and then social media. It's like there's two big waves that we've gone through.
Because the
Yeah.
phones back in the day were like, I was
the
thinking.
BlackBerry was it?
Yeah, Jess and I were talking about this the other day because we got her sidekick. We found her sidekick, the phone. And that was the phone that she had when we first started dating. And it was like limited text messages, limited minutes. And we would always go over.
Yeah, you pay per text.
Yeah, you
message.
pay. Yeah, and then every minute or text message that goes over the plan, you have to pay for it.
a cent or 5 cents.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
so
was
we
crazy.
actually have that. We found it like
I got
last week.
$1,000
Yeah.
bill.
Oh, my dad would be through the roof. He'd be
Yeah.
like, "Who are you texting?" I'm like, "I don't know."
My
Yeah,
friends.
shit just
Yeah, my
adds up.
friend.
All
Yeah.
my friends.
Yeah.
So you moved to Houston, then you went to school in Wichita Falls.
Yeah, we moved to Wichita Falls first.
Oh, y'all moved to okay.
Yeah, so my dad's job was there, and then we were there for 3 years, something like that. And then in 2018, we moved to Houston. And then pretty much a month later, I started with you.
Oh wow, I didn't know. I don't remember that. I don't remember that being that recent that you moved there.
Yeah.
Was he what branch of military was he in?
He was Navy. He's Navy SEAL for 6 years.
Damn, that's badass.
Yeah, but his he got out. Like my mom basically was like, "You either have kids or like we're gonna do this military thing forever." So he always wanted a family. So he like stepped back after his agreement, and then they kind of like ventured off. So he moves around now just because of he works for BP, like the wind energy portion. So he basically now he goes to power plants that are or wind farms, I guess, that are struggling and stuff, and he basically helps like rebuild them. So he's only there for like 2-3 years and stuff, and then he kind of like moves on to the next thing unless they ask him to stay.
Was he a shooter? Was he a shooter?
I can't speak on that.
Damn.
Damn.
We should have him
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. He would love it. He would
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who David Goggins is?
Yes.
He came and like talked to our team one time.
Really?
Somebody was like, "How many people have you killed?"
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He just like
mean, I would-
he was like, "I'm not answering that question."
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
I know. He has like a tattoo that he got like when he was in, and like I just like recently found out like what it meant. I was like,
Do
okay.
you think if he had teardrops, do you think if he had teardrops, it'd be like his whole face?
Yeah, probably.
And what would it
Yeah.
cried a river, bro?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's.
Be a flood.
I mean, going back to that other thing about like the 50s and stuff like that, it was like a thing to just kill people. It wasn't even anything.
Yeah, like you crossed my family and like that's
yeah,
it. You
it
know?
wasn't like it was an eye for an eye, or tooth
Yeah.
for a tooth. I like that era. I really, I feel like I should have been. I feel
That's
like,
why you like Drake so much.
honestly, I feel like I wanted to be born in the 50s because like my whole thing is like everything mafia cartel based is like I'm highly interested in that shit. I don't know why. I like it.
Narcos.
Not that I
Daniel's
say
favorite show is Narcos.
it is. Not that I say I want to kill people, but I, you know, would
Want
like to
some
be-
organized crime.
Would like no, I really do like organized crime. I think it's great for. I think there was a discussion about this too a while back that I listened to a podcast. Like, is the economy better with organized crime or no? I feel like it would be way better with organized crime because they're like
I feel like I could see that.
the Italian mobs and like I mean if you think about it like how does like a lot of without going into politics but like how does a lot of these government entities like make a lot of money. It's from getting paid off. Like a lot of high level government officials and shit like that, they get paid off from like the cartels and like, hey, let us pass and shit like that. So, I mean, these movies and shows were not just made out of thin air. I feel like it was
Oh, a lot of them. There's a lot of truth to a lot of it.
Yeah.
probably 90% true in what happened and shit.
Yeah, like our government is the reason that the cocaine era started.
Yeah,
A lot of it
100%.
come in.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of like moves towards legalization of a lot of these drugs, even like cocaine. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah. Cocaine and I
Like
think
if
it was,
stuff like that is legalized, then what is the really reason for organized crime?
well, I mean,
Because a lot of organized crime revolves around drugs.
Yeah.
the drug that you're talking about being legalized soon is MDMA.
I'm just saying in general, a
Oh,
lot
okay,
of hard drugs in general
Yeah.
are like
being
it might be a
legalized.
matter of time before most of them.
Well, I
Yeah.
think like organized crime isn't just drugs. Yes, that's the majority of like how they make their money, like the contraband and stuff. But like, they control like, I mean, I feel like they're the hitters of like doing shit. If like you want someone silenced or removed from the fucking map, they'll do that, like just like that, like on a whim, you know.
Yeah.
So I really do feel like it's, I don't know, not just, I mean, it's a form of
Tangent,
security.
It's a crazy tangent, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
Mafia
Like, bro,
tangent.
like if you want somebody gone,
Yeah.
like,
But I mean,
Like, I got you.
like think about it, right? Like El Chapo, like all these people.
I guess if it's not drugs, it's probably trafficking.
Yeah, I would say that's.
Human
I
trafficking.
would honestly say trafficking over drugs.
Yeah.
In today,
Trafficking is the
as far as like,
most profited industry in the entire world.
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, it's a apparently it's $100 billion industry every year that it
disgusting.
I
makes.
feel like it's become more prominent lately. Like it's just even.
I want to see the Sound of Freedom, but yeah, I there's some shit like, I mean, it's hard to really ignore, right? Because like the streets aren't even really safe, and then
Yeah.
you know these Amber Alerts, like there's so many
Yeah.
memes around it,
So
but that's
many.
really
Yeah.
what's happening. Like it's become so just like
No, everybody's like
numb
Yeah,
that it's just like, oh, I don't, it's whatever, I don't want to talk about it, but it's like it's a problem, bro.
real. Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking
And then like you find out that it happened to somebody that you knew, or like when it hits you. I feel like there's always a moment that it like kind of
Yeah.
like hits you, that it's kind of surreal.
Wakes you up.
It happened
Yeah.
with my sister-in-law's when she went to Rice University. Jackie, they went to they had a friend that went to Cancun and he like disappeared.
Yeah.
They could never find him. And then someone I went to high school with was a coyote. You know what a coyote
Damn, I
is?
thought Cancun was supposed to be safe, man.
It's wild. You know what those coyotes are? Coyotes. So before the border was closed, when we had a secure border, coyotes were the people. That's what they call them. Were the people that smuggled the people across the border. So I had a girl that went to my high school. She was like a few years younger than me. She was a coyote.
It's wild.
And she was a stripper and she was a coyote, which is wild because she was in high school.
She's probably balling.
Yeah. And then they found her.
Just saying.
So like she disappeared because she didn't go to class for a while and she disappeared. And then she like was all over the news and they actually found her body and it was like beheaded.
Oh damn.
What the?
It's fucking crazy.
That's
Okay, so we're
wild.
supposed to talk about
Yeah, this-
Dakota, but pretty crazy.
Yeah, we did
Somehow
I love
I
organized
landed the
crime.
topic
Yeah.
of the mafia.
trafficking,
Yeah.
mafia. Like,
I love organized crime. So
yeah, like what do you? what are we talking about?
No, we got on that.
yeah, but
Anyways.
so your dad's
Daniel's trying to
So my
think of
dad-
how to transition this back to Dakota.
okay. So after you moved to Houston, 6 months later you started working with Derek.
A month later,
A month later.
What were you doing before that? What was you doing?
I was a personal trainer at Gold's, worked the front desk, and then was a personal online trainer for a little bit too.
Did you study nutrition or exercise?
Yeah, I have
science?
a degree in exercise physiology. So I bounced around a little bit, and honestly, Hawaii set me back a year. So because Texas has a lot of like really weird educational restrictions and credits. So basically my whole year didn't count. Like none of my basic academics or anything. Like so I had to start over.
It was just vacation.
Yeah, it was basically just like a debt of vacation.
They saw what kind of stuff they were teaching you in
Yeah.
Hawaii school. And
They're like, you don't know the Declaration of Independence, so you're gonna start over.
We're not accepting those credits.
So I had to end up going pretty much 5 years for that degree. But
Did you like ever compete or anything?
no,
Or was that ever a desire of you?
no. I think I wanted to and like thought about it, and then to be up on stage or anything like that, like I'm just not interested in that. I was just like never. I think I just wanted to be like in really great shape and like leave it at that. I just really wanted to enjoy like working out and always doing something. And it was such a huge transition from soccer and like having something organized every single week,
Yeah.
double days, all that stuff. Like pretty much it was a 40 to 50 hour work week, but you were playing sports.
Yep.
So, and now like, we go work out for like 45 minutes and call it a day.
I've had this conversation with other athletes that we've had on the podcast, but did you lose your sense of identity at all after you quit playing soccer?
I've had this conversation too, and I think thankfully no. I want to say it's probably because I already knew what I wanted to do, and I was already kind of doing it.
With fitness?
So yeah, like I had like not necessarily an exit plan, but I think I found something better that I was more passionate about, and it was only dependent on me, not dependent on a team or a coach or anything like that. Because I mean, I loved all the teams that I was on, but I think the coach is like what really did it for me, and having to like follow somebody's rules or like say like I just didn't like the way that they organized it or whatever. So just something that I could control and do, and it was dependent on me is what I loved about it. So thankfully, no, I think I found my identity more, if anything, through that. So
when you were in college, like what time frame was it with you for social media? Like when did social media start coming around? And
I remember the first time I saw Justin Bieber on YouTube. Yeah, huge believer. It was in like 2009. I remember like looking him up on YouTube because I saw him like on a credits from MTV. I saw his little like baby. No, it was one time music video like performing, and I was like, who is this kid? And then a few months later, he had a Twitter, and that's when I got Twitter. And then I think in like 2010 is when I got
Twitter was your first social media.
Twitter was my first social media, and it was what like pretty much he used, and like other artists I think tried to use it too, of like, hey, I'm gonna be performing at this radio station, hey, I'm gonna be performing here or whatever. And it was really for like us to follow people. Like that was specifically what it was for. Now I feel like it's like more news. For a while it was NFT or whatever, but
I felt well, I'm assuming you probably had a Facebook before Twitter.
Oh, maybe I did.
Twitter was your first social media that kind of connected you to the world.
Yeah, I didn't use, honestly, I think I had Facebook after.
Oh, really?
I think I created them all like kind of simultaneously, but I remember Twitter being my first one.
Twitter was a big one for us as well, because it was.
I guess I had a MySpace before
Twitter
that.
came out before Instagram.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my teammates, everybody was on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
And then it was Facebook for us.
Yeah, so I did Twitter and then like Instagram, Facebook, I think simultaneously. I've always hated Facebook. I don't know why, I just don't like it, but I have one to like be reputable or something, because I feel like if you don't have a Facebook, like you're weird, you know?
It's like,
Damn,
That's the only social media that you should have,
fake.
because then it's like, your family's on there and like whatever, you update your profile picture every 9 years or something. So yeah.
Yeah, my mom's on there like posting random shit.
Yeah. Now it's
My
for
grandma
Growing chilies and shit.
posting random stuff.
all you see on there is like
Jeremy posting every 3 hours.
yeah, but I don't ever get on Facebook. I think the last time I guess I only get on there to like sell stuff now, but that's it.
Oh, like Marketplace?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marketplace is kind of cool.
Yeah.
With Instagram, when Instagram started coming around, what was your kind of take on that and the whole?
Well, it's funny to see how much it's transitioned, I think, because at first people were like posting like nothing but food. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it was like you're only supposed to post your meals.
Yeah.
Or like maybe whatever you're doing. Like
Yeah, there's a whole thing going around where it's like you can't eat your food until you take a picture.
Yeah, until you take a picture, which I think it's like circling back and it's aesthetic now or whatever, but it was really a photo form of Twitter. So like you got to follow people on their activities. Now I feel like it's more of a portfolio of some sort. if you
That was basically just like selling courses and porn.
yeah.
That's Instagram.
What?
Like that's
Oh,
what
you're
it-
saying now?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
masterminds and
Masterminds and
OnlyFans
porn.
promotion.
Bro, it's just fucking wild. Let's see you talk about
Yeah.
the
Do
transformation.
Do you follow Bob Minery?
I don't, but I know who he is.
So he has recently been like promoting, posting ads of like OnlyFans girls. So
Oh,
it's like
he's probably starting an agency.
sold out. He either sold out and is just getting paid to promote. But it's weird.
Yeah.
Like
Because he probably couldn't
Like,
get the traction after no.
like now a lot of these pages like they get really big and then they just start like posting adverts everywhere, and it's kind of crazy.
Like his
That's when I unfollow people. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of pages that I've seen kind of trend. Like,
I go through like
Doctor-
every other month and I feel like I unfollow people.
You talking about his
Just-
Instagram?
Yeah, I think even Dr. Remix, his Instagram changed a lot too.
I was talking to him.
Yeah,
Jordan just moved to
Oh, that's
Miami.
right.
He's opening a
remember?
clinic for someone.
yeah.
Damn, that's
That's cool.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But his started going like towards a meme route too,
Yeah.
which was kind of weird. But I always think it's interesting to see how people's pages transform over time, like as they grow or scale or get bigger.
Yeah.
I think-
mine ain't.
Yeah, I was like, I think mine's always just been like chill.
Did
Like,
you ever have any goals or aspirations, or like you just always wanted to like?
no, I think everyone ideally would like to. Like, I think it's a fun idea to like blow up or whatever the case is. But I don't have any interest in keeping up with that. Like, I like taking ownership of the things that I have and like putting care into those things. And other than like photo dumps or whatever, like I just see that as fun. I don't want to have to like take care of that, unless it's for like my brand or something. Like that's something that I invested in that I'll own.
You always see people nowadays like they're so caught up on going viral, like they think that's gonna change their life. But like in reality, if you go viral with one video, like it doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't do anything.
Like when I was posting reels in Florida, I had like multiple reels go like 5 million views, 10 million views, like all my reels were doing really well, but like my page didn't grow or anything. Nothing came from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
because people have to
people
see.
get caught up on the virality aspect of things, but in reality, like that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, because I mean, people want something from you,
Yeah.
right? In order to follow you in any sort of way, like they want to be able to. When they invest in you, they know they're going to get something back.
Yeah.
It's what it is. So all of these people are like investors in your lives, and they count on whatever content you're creating to provide them
Right.
with Amazon storefront links or whatever the case is nowadays, So that's what people count on, I feel like now, especially after
Transactional.
2020.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you feel like it's more like transactional now.
yeah, I definitely think
It's an
so.
interesting take. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like what TikTok is turning into, TikTok originally was just to
Thank you for the glizzy.
yeah. TikTok originally was to just create content, right? Of course, like as they build the app, they're probably like, okay, how do we continue? They've probably already mapped these out, but how do we continue to monetize and how do we continue to take over every single platform with just one platform? So if you think about like TikTok in the beginning was just like dancing videos, right? Or lip syncing videos. And then it translated into education, right? Teaching people like about products or
Quick tips, stuff
quick
like
tips
that,
or
yeah.
something. So then that kind of like maybe invested in their brand or whatever. But then now there's like every single page that you'll see, every single TikTok in the next 3 months probably will have a TikTok shop link. It's just become, because obviously TikTok makes money from it, and then also they're trying to steal all the traffic away from YouTube, Amazon, because you're no longer having to go to external sources.
Well, I think they look at where the direction of like social media has gone, and it's like Dakota said, Instagram is becoming more transactional of like people selling stuff. So they're actually pretty smart of like, let's integrate a shop
Yeah.
into your social media to sell directly from your social media.
And a lot of people
That's
are
pretty- that's
complaining
honestly
that
pretty
like
genius.
even if you were getting like 100 million views, you weren't getting paid anything from TikTok.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people are leaving TikTok to go back to Instagram.
Yeah.
But now TikTok
You
is
don't even
like,
get paid on Instagram now.
yeah, exactly. So
They
now
took away the bonuses.
exactly. So now TikTok's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna all
Integrate a whole
all
shop.
y'all people promoting like to know it. Let's just create this whole thing, and then the brand is what sets the commission. Like not the actual store. The brand sets it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So Amazon is the one that sets the affiliate link percentages, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Now brands can choose to pay you 30% or 15%. Like that's huge, bro. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you're selling $100 or I mean everything on TikTok Shop is pretty cheap. It's like $20, but if you're getting paid 30% from a $20 purchase, bro, that's like six something.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, bro. Like per
Yeah.
purchase.
And you do have a good, I feel like it not only, it's obviously beneficial for everybody, but you have a high chance of like, you end up on someone's For You page, you know?
Yeah,
So even if it's like 5,
Yeah, I think
6,
their
or, you know?
algorithm, you can kind of put yourself out there a lot easier than Instagram. I feel like Instagram is very
Yeah, I think
hard
that's
to
the
get
difference
noticed or-
between the two is like when you go on Instagram, I mean, like maybe you'll comment on your friend's stuff or whatever, but like you're kind of there to just like maybe find a few things on the explore page and then you log out. Like you go to TikTok for comedy, for aesthetic, for travel vlogs, like little mini vlogs, like for you, like YouTube little shorts or whatever. For podcast clips, like you go there for everything.
I haven't
it's
been-
the new
like, I haven't
Google,
been
it's the new
using
YouTube.
TikTok I still don't use TikTok.
I use TikTok religiously, but I haven't bought anything from there, even though
10 o'clock at night, Daniel be sending all the TikToks. to the
Yeah, I actually, have wanted to buy stuff from TikTok, but I don't feel like I can trust it yet. But now that one of our customers is a crazy software engineer for TikTok, I feel like I can trust it.
You
I
feel
mean,
like it's
but
a little bit
we'll
more
talk about
legitimate.
what my plan is because that kind of sparked something in me for like this new department of Relay that we're doing and how we can incorporate TikTok Shop,
Yeah.
which would be pretty valuable. So we'll talk about
pretty
that a
dope.
little bit. But yeah, social media is what?
So you've been brainstorming?
Yeah, but TikTok Shop. I mean, social media is just so like, it's just weird, bro. Like if it doesn't, what you guys are saying, if it's not transactional, no one wants to use it anymore. It's like people make money,
It's less about
community.
people in the community and like your friends,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
more about business and how do I monetize everything.
That's
and
why
how do I
Threads
sell,
isn't
and
succeeding.
How do I? Yeah.
That's why Threads wasn't successful.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even make one of those.
Yeah, it's wild. It was wild. Like
I have one.
I was like, Twitter changed to X, and I'm good with. I'm done
Daniel-
with that.
yeah, because
Daniel's still posting
I'm
threads.
still post.
Yeah.
I post some good ass.
He threads it
I feel
up.
like, but I feel like because Twitter,
200 GSM thread.
yeah.
Likes his own threads.
because like people on
a
Twitter,
bar.
Twitter, there's no censorship. You can post your fucking nudes. Like you can sell your OnlyFans, but you can't sell that shit on Threads
How do you know?
because a lot of
He
people
sold
talk
it.
about that.
What are you looking at on Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter. That's the thing. I don't have a Twitter.
Yeah. So, what's your Twitter page look like?
No, I don't have a Twitter. That's the thing.
He had to get rid of it.
But I heard that's why a lot of people also don't use Threads because it's like because like Twitter has like it's
not-
news, it's videos, it's
Yeah.
you can post anything.
Yeah,
It really
I feel
doesn't
like
matter.
Instagram is like trying. I mean, like they came out with Reels shortly after TikTok really like blew up.
Yeah.
So trying to get that back to people's
That's
explore
all
page
they've
and
been
stuff.
doing is just taking like Snapchat stories.
Yeah,
like,
but then their
Reels.
algorithm is like for a while, like if you made a reel, it was pretty much guaranteed that it would get good traction.
Yeah.
And then they switched it to like no, now you have to like post like
Yeah.
pictures or whatever. So they're like flip flopping, and then they came out with Threads. I don't understand it. I didn't really care to understand it because I was just like, I don't get it.
I've never been heavy social media. Like I don't know. It's been hard for me to ever. Just
I like
get
stories, and
into
that's it.
Yeah, I like watching.
That's because
my
I'll
friends-
never log back into Snapchat. But
I
yeah,
like watching my friends' stories, and that's really all I do.
Yeah, I do stories. Yeah, yeah. With like social media, how do you think we are, because you work with Relay now, how do you think we are doing with like social media stuff?
amazing because I think that there's very few companies that are able to keep up with and tap into that creative side, even though that's not like, I mean, like, yes, we have like a creative branch, but it's for like the content that you're doing is for like the fulfillment side and stuff like that, like making sure that all sides of your businesses are shown, which I think is something very unique and different that maybe whether business owners are scared to do because they don't want to show that full process or they don't have full access to understand it or something like that. But I think with us being like a full house of all these different avenues, I think it's important, especially in today's age and like the type of clients that we work for and like the age group that they are, they're very social media tapped in. So it would make sense for us to understand that and like how important that platform is.
Yeah.
And create that. So
With like how we're building out this new branch of relay distribution, like what are, I guess you can talk about it. I kind of want you to talk about like what your feelings are about it, your visions, where you kind of see us going, and like, I guess the content that we're going to put out, like what are your feelings about it and everything.
I think it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I'm more of like I'm independent in some ways, but I'm also like a partnership type of way. Like I want somebody to keep each other accountable and stuff like that, and like somebody that I can vibe with and like bounce ideas off of. So with you kind of bringing me into this sort of the department of product development, I was gonna say
What is
dev,
it
but
called?
then-
Because you came up with the name.
Oh, it's called Soon. That was clever, huh?
It was.
I was listening to Drake when I thought of it.
What does soon mean? Stand for?
Something out of nothing.
Hey.
That's crazy.
It's
Oh,
a
you were
double
inspired-
entendre.
You were
Yeah.
inspired by Drake.
I was inspired by. He said some line,
Fucking
and then he was like, "You're always taking something, turning it into something. Like always taking nothing, turning it into something,
Yeah.
or something like that." And I was like, "Something out of nothing." And then I texted you like right away. I was like, "What if we called it Soon?" You were like, "Oh shit."
It's a double entendre.
That's a double on time.
Yeah. And then as soon as I said it, like we could never get away from
Yeah,
it. So I think that's how you know
like
that you
it,
landed
yeah.
on one.
Well, it is right
cool.
because like you're the branch, the brands that you start, they're always coming soon. The new products are coming soon.
Like soon.
Then it's
something-
also
you're
like
making
building something out of
none.
nothing. So
Yeah.
it is a double entendre.
And it's like what
Yeah.
the department is, you know, like that's
Yeah.
what we take is something's not necessarily calling
an
like
idea.
people's ideas
Yeah.
nothing, but like it's technically not physical yet, right? So taking that from and being able to build somebody up so that they can build that product and giving that to them. So I'm really excited for that portion because I think that's something that I've always wanted to know about and get into. I've never had like the connection or anything. So with being able to work with you and being able to understand that product development side and learning all of the ins and outs of it is something that I've never been able to tap into creatively. I think that I know my style, I know what I like. I feel like I can be able to give advice for other people as well in that sense.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're looking for and whatnot. So I think that's why the content portion excites me and like all the ideas that we've been bouncing off to create those types of videos is just like give our perspective because, you know, there's nobody else like us in the industry. So we'll bring something different. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We film our first episode tomorrow, so it's coming soon.
You gonna put the letters up?
We don't have the letters yet.
I know. We got to go to like Hobby Lobby and
Yeah, well,
arts and crafts it up.
a lot of people. I mean, whoever's watching this, like, you're gonna see it on our other channel, and then you might see it here or the main channel. But we're going to be filming different videos revolved around relevant brands, kind of how we break down the brand itself, the brand identity, the brand direction, the products that they're making, the construction of the garment. We have a friend that's doing it right now. We kind of bounce ideas, I guess. Joe bounced ideas off you guys, and we're bouncing ideas off of him.
Yeah.
He kind of does something a little bit different. He kind of cuts all the garments. We don't need to do that. I feel like because we have an athletic body type, like we have like different body types here, we're going to be trying on the clothes. We're going to be giving like try on reviews of the product and how we can improve the product rather than just how much we think the garment costs. So I think that's the difference in what a lot of people can relate to more. I think, what Joe's doing is amazing. He's, cutting
That's
up.
cool.
It is really cool, right? We don't have all those gadgets, but I also don't think it's a necessity to be doing the things he's doing because you can break down the construction of the garment and the material without cutting it. So that way we can still return it.
It's also
Facts,
you're
facts,
trying to return it.
Yeah,
Facts.
absolutely.
It's also more shocking, right? Like for views
Yeah,
and
people are like,
stuff.
"Oh, you're
when
cutting
Yeah,
out of
you
the
go-
jeans."
So it's,
Yeah.
But it's
I get the angle and it's working. So
No, love
Sure.
what Joe's doing, but we're gonna be trying on the garments. I think that's what is
showing how it fits and like,
Yeah, because that's what a lot of people don't know, right? Like people who are not into fashion, they'll buy a piece of garment off the rack and it'll fit a certain way, and then they're kind of like, oh, I don't like the way it fits, but they don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the inconsistencies come in. How
Or describing what they're even looking for. Like, you know, you kind of go there and you're blank. Like, you're just like, oh, I'm here to like find something.
Yeah.
so
or an event or whatever.
obviously, and this is just talking a little bit about our business now. So obviously, soon as product development, we have a niche and expertise in clothing, which is what you guys will be focusing on with your videos.
Yeah.
Are there any plans or ideas? And this is the first time we're talking about this. So, are there any plans or ideas to, like venture into like some other product breakdowns, like some of the other stuff that we're creating for clients? Like,
I feel
or
like
do
we
you
would
own-
have to.
Yeah. Do you guys do you only want to stick with garments? I know it's obviously what we know the most about, but maybe it would be cool to like also highlight or show some other type of products too.
Yeah.
I think what we could do is we can buy viral products on TikTok Shop and review it and kind of give a breakdown on how much the product actually cost.
Yeah, like a viral
Yeah.
phone case or
Yeah,
like some
correct.
shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think it'd be cool to not only just show
Because then I feel like that's what I was going to say.
broadens our scope as well.
Yeah, and what we can do. Because then when we talk about it and the construction and how much, you know, we're able to provide, like information wise, somebody will really believe, like, okay, now I could turn around and like build this
You'd
out.
be surprised to see how much Daniel knows about plastics.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Crazy.
Plastic shit, like he knows all about it. Like, it's
But yeah,
crazy.
just being able to that. So the TikTok thing earlier, what I was talking about was the TikTok shop for all
Yeah.
the products that we buy in the videos, and we'll kind of have them. That'll be kind of cool.
That
'cause
will
we
be
can
cool.
link it and be like, hey, this is the
You
garment.
paid $75 for this on TikTok. It costs
Yeah.
15 cents to make.
Yeah. No, yeah, plastics. My family was manufacturing for a while, so like LDPE,
gonna say
HDPE.
Real big is gonna say, "Are you getting ripped off on TikTok Shop?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna
Yeah,
be
that'd be
that's a whole
crazy
series.
clickbait. Yeah.
That'd be a crazy whole series.
Yeah, we have like brand breakdown and then like TikTok shop. Like
We honestly, yeah, we should probably fucking do that because that'd be pretty sick.
that'd be crazy.
Podcast turning
Because something new goes viral like every other day.
Yeah. We could-
Podcast turning into a business meeting.
Yeah.
We could do that.
This is
'cause,
how
like,
a lot of these meetings go.
like
Yeah.
the next, we can do a whole series. Is like, are you getting ripped off on TikTok Shop?
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Wow,
pretty
Derek,
cool.
way to go.
Damn, nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's why I'm here, baby.
With soon, like
Not just to rub his leg.
we, you know, with the 4 branches of like this brand, I think soon will probably be the most profitable in terms of business. Like,
Yeah, I mean, in terms, I mean, just let alone in terms of overhead, it's the least overhead. Well, right now, until we obviously we need more manpower to handle it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it will be the least overhead part of our business. Like, if we wanted to, we could all work from home on it. Like, we don't even need an office for it,
Yeah.
right? So it's like
yeah,
the studio, the photography stuff. Like, we need the photography studio, fulfillment.
Yeah.
We need the warehouse. We need all the equipment. This, like, we really just need
Yeah. 10
internet
clients would be
access
nice.
and a place to work.
we're getting
So,
there. We, you know,
Yeah, we have a really good setup for everything.
yeah,
I think.
yeah. With soon, it's like, man, I'm excited because there's so many ideas that I don't even know what to film.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like there's so.
I mean, that's why we did that breakdown a little
Yeah.
bit, you know, to give us direction. But
there's like
Just do little segments at a time. Like,
Yeah.
what we just said, like, are you getting ripped off? Like, that's the whole segment. Just do like
Mm-hmm.
5-10 episodes of that, and then also do like your.
because I mean, we could
your
do,
brand-
we could
brand
like
breakdowns.
review 10 products in one day, and that would be like, you know, almost 50 different videos you could probably make out of that.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested. Yeah, but
it's
anyways,
crazy.
let's talk about your
yeah,
business.
So Dakota is
No one knows that yet.
dabbling into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the
Serge and I.
first business that you've kind of venturing out on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I did personal training for a while, but I think that was different. I'm not good with like being a salesperson of myself. Like I don't want to sell myself.
Like-
I'm good with that, you know. Like
Look who you're talking to.
yeah, I'm just like I'm okay. Like that's why I think being an influencer was never something that I ever wanted to do because I don't feel like you have to be fake and like I'll talk to somebody and I'll do podcasts and all of this other stuff, but I just want to like be me without having to try to like sell you something.
You'll be surprised, like once you get it going And when you realize like when it's something you really care about, like kind of passionate about, it just becomes easy to just talk to others and kind of sell yourself without selling yourself. You know, you don't realize
and I think it's something different when it's like a product and not just me, like, you know, so with, you know, what we're coming out with is something that, you know, everyone uses, everyone kind of not necessarily needs.
Have you announced
We haven't announced it yet.
what it is? Once they listen to this podcast, you can kind of put two and two together.
Yeah, so
You've announced the name.
it's
though.
funny because a lot of people are so confused, and that makes me happy. It just like it just humors me because we came out with a shirt. It has nothing to do with clothing, and then me and you are posting about soon, but it's me and Serge are in a business, and then they're like, "What are you and Daniel doing?"
Yeah.
And like, "Why are you calling it soon or whatever?" Or like sometimes I'll say soon, but it's like a picture of me and Serge,
Yeah.
and people are like.
You're
Like, they're-
confusing your audience.
They're like, dang, can't wait to see like what this
Well,
is.
you see,
know,
Dakota,
so
this is why you're not an influencer. You're
Yeah.
confusing your audience.
I think it's so funny because I'm just like, yeah, I am. So, but like you'll see soon enough or whatever.
When are you making your announcement of what the actual?
The end of next week.
Okay.
End of next week we will because it's not coming out until the end of this month. So we're gonna do like a 7 to 10 day hype up. Just trying to get like everything prepared as much as possible. And
what is the name of your company?
the name is Villa Essen. So Serge did come up with that. I'll give him all of the credit on that. But it means to live luxuriously in comfort. So villa, when you think of that, it's an upscale home of some sort, or like a home that you would get, like an Airbnb that you would get when you go to a beach or something like that. And Essen is kind of the root word of essence, feeling in comfort or being in comfort. So that's why our motto is to live in comfort. So that's why I think that our first shirt product was very confusing because it's just like clothing.
Yeah.
But when we actually come out with the product that it was intended to be in that line, then you'll really understand like why living in comfort means what it means, and why the product that we chose to do is like a symbol of that.
That's cool.
So yeah, it is. I really love it. I love.
I think it'll be a viral TikTok shop product.
It honestly might be. I
really
mean,
do.
Are you getting ripped off when you buy it though?
We'll see firsthand.
Oh man.
I don't know. I mean, you saw it firsthand. It
we
wasn't the
did see
final one, but
I really do think it'll go viral on TikTok shop.
yeah,
Cool. I
it's-
think it's a good idea. It's cool.
I tried to when we were coming up with it, we were researching everywhere, like who's done what kind of products, or these types of specific ones at least.
So you
And
felt like there's a gap.
there's
this
a huge gap.
specific niche.
Yeah, and I think our goal, obviously, it ties back to what we did for the shirt, is sticking around the music industry and events that are happening right now. Like, you know, it'll be something like local to Houston even that we do collabs with or whatever. But the ultimate goal is to hopefully be able to build collaborations with people that reside in and line up with the brand, the brand slogan and like what we're here
Direction.
for. Yeah, and the direction and things that we thoroughly enjoy. So, you know, we love Travis Scott. That's why we did that one and that.
Can you make a black one or no?
Yeah, it kind of looks tacky though.
Damn. Make an AOR one.
Yeah, so that's crazy. It depends. Like
Make
we
a
would have
relay
to,
one.
yeah, make a relay one.
An AOR
Like
one
a big
would be
one,
wild
the
because
sign.
we wanted to do like something like the brand Black. Mm-hmm. They have like all this. They have like chess sets and everything.
Yeah, if it's
So-
done right, yes. I think
yes.
we would have to experiment with it a little bit. So our second project will experiment with colors.
Yeah.
I've seen them in black before.
Yeah, if they're done well, they can. But you see a lot more when you do it in black.
Yeah.
And it's not so much
Okay, so the
depending on what it is.
imperfections.
Yeah, depending on what it is, like what the
You're, like,
form of it
struggling-
is.
you're
I'm struggling so hard not to say it because it will be worth the wait. But and we built way too much. Like I built out too much hype to be spilling it on
Yeah.
here. But
Damn.
I know if we were doing this like next week, I wouldn't care. But
Well, this is going live on Monday.
okay,
But it's the end of next week is when she's
Oh,
unveiling.
I thought you said the end of this week is when you're really.
end of next
okay,
week.
next
week. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I mean, we have the next 5 projects planned.
Nice.
So this first one it's a lot. It's a lot of back and forth. You see these little tiny imperfections, and like we've already like kind of moved back our timeline, like our original launch timeline, just because it wasn't like perfect. And I was like, I'm not doing this. Like if it's not something that like it was intended to be, it's not going to be up there. So yeah, it's been a lot of back and forth, just learning a brand new field that we've never experimented in. It was a lot of understanding melting points and all of this stuff. So yeah, it was crazy. Well, you can cut that out, but
No,
if it's in there, it's in there. But it was like
Dakota's
chemistry.
gonna leave us in, like,
it was
6
chemistry.
months.
I know. That's why I asked her. I said, "What if your business takes off, and then what?
think it will.
What happens
No,
to
because I
us?"
think this is also business to me, and I take ownership over with you and with Soon and stuff like that. So
kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I think with us, like if any of our employees like wanted to start a business, we would
yeah,
We would
support them
we would
100%.
support them.
Like I don't.
because then I'll just use us to fulfill.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it could
Kind of
be
what we do
full-
for
full
Austin.
circle.
We help him, you know.
Yeah, with his media stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we
Try,
definitely refer
yeah.
him a lot of business and whatnot.
Try.
So like we definitely want to support everybody
Yeah.
in their ventures,
Which I
and
think
what they wanna
is
do in their life.
something why I wasn't scared to do both, because when in my previous job we were like kind of nervous about it, so I was just kind of like, what do I actually do about it? You know, like is it going to be an issue or whatever? But I feel like, you know, this is something that I'm personally pursuing, and if I can keep, you know, the career that I have separate from that, then I feel like there's no lines to really be crossed.
Correct. Yeah.
But some people don't see it that way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe that you can kind of do multiple things at once.
Yeah.
It's like
Or yeah, they're just like not
separate things.
supportive of it, I
Yeah.
think. And
Yeah.
or like scared that I would, you know, up and leave or something like that. But
Yeah.
you know, unless I want to. But
I mean, I
don't
think
I would.
if it came to the point to where you were like,
I would
"Hey,
talk to you about
I
it."
have to, like, this is, we're making millions. Like,
Yeah.
this is too much or whatever. I think we would totally be understanding.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it would suck. But, you know, those are,
But we'd love to
it's
see it.
business, right? It happens. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't with companies forever.
Yeah.
You know, and they end up doing their own things and blossom into something else. And then some people are with companies forever.
Mm-hmm.
I would love nothing more than to have those stories where it's like, oh yeah, Dakota's been with us for 20 years, you know,
Yeah.
like so.
No, we got an exit plan in 5 years now.
Exit plans.
I mean, you never know. You never,
Never know.
But
Never know.
We do have exit
that's the
plan.
type of stuff that I like too, though. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely don't have any. I definitely see you being with us for the long run,
Mm-hmm.
especially with what we're trying to do and where we're headed. I don't think you'll want to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't,
we're-
I mean, me and you, I feel like we're very transparent with each other. That's why I really enjoy being around you guys.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I'm talking to you, like I'm talking to somebody that understands the vision and understands business is business, but also like we're friends too at the same time and we have each other's backs. So like when we were transparent with each other about my switch and coming here, it was like I understood that this was a dream of your guys's to do. Like I understand that I'm coming into your dream, and that's big. You know, that's not something that I take lightly. So me understanding that, like, hey, I'm invested in this because I know you're also invested in this and me and stuff like that. So
That's why you're here.
because you treat it like that. So when you do, then it's easy for me to. You know, so. And yeah, I'll never leave you. Circled back once, didn't I?
I know, crazy.
That is crazy. So
I don't even remember the first. I don't even remember interviewing you.
I don't think I got interviewed.
I was just like,
You
you're
just
hired.
let me in the warehouse. You're just like, here you go.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there was,
So
there was points where I didn't want to interview anybody. I was like, show up.
Yeah.
If you work hard and just do what I say, you have a job.
You have a job.
If you don't, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day,
it
that's
worked
what
out,
that's
yeah.
what it's about. Yeah. And the people that really wanted to be there stayed. So it was funny because I actually reached out to Ashley first, and I DM'd her, and I was like, hey, like I know that Alpha Elite's always looking for like people to help in the warehouse or whatever. Like, where do I go? And so then she gave me your email, and I emailed you.
Yeah.
And then I think you literally just replied like, come in Friday or whatever, like, because it was launch.
You're hired.
Yeah, you're like, come in Friday and you can work the weekend.
We were always literally just anybody that wanted to help. We were giving shots.
That's the thing too. It's
Except
like
Kevin. Kevin was like begging for work for free for so long.
Oh yeah, Kevin's funny. He's funny.
We'll have to get Kevin on a podcast because
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Not yet.
Stories. There's a lot
Not
of stories.
until
It's a country bumpkin.
There's a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
but
Bumpkin.
yeah, I mean, I feel like with any business too, it's like why we're doing the social media thing is we're sharing our struggles, and a lot of people are unwilling to accept or to do that in the beginning stages of their business, because in the beginning stages, they want people to think that they're doing extremely well all the time,
Yeah.
so that they hold them to a higher pedestal. But we like just telling people like, hey, like it's never gonna always be like that. It's always like you're figuring shit out, no matter how big you are, no matter how many employees you have, you always are, you don't know what's going on. You're always
I think
figuring
that's
it
like
out.
a huge thing, because when you come out with your brand or your company or whatever it is, no matter, I feel like we've seen this with like people that are so huge and they come out with something, or you're so small or whatever, and like all these people are so hyped about it when you're posting about it, but then when you actually make the drop, like nothing really, it didn't amount to like all the hype that you received. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't compare. So then you feel like you failed. So I feel like I was already prepared for that. Like I already kind of understand that like some people are just talk and they just want to like your stuff and comment congratulations or whatever.
Hype up.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, I appreciate that at
And then in
least.
turn, people want to do that about their business.
But people like
make
when
it
we
seem like
when we
it's-
dropped our shirt, people came out like 4 people that I knew from high school
Yeah.
10 years ago, like came out and bought a shirt, and I was like, where are the people that I'm currently friends with today? Nowhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
or like friends with, but I'm just like, those people really come out for you.
Damn,
So,
we should sell the relay shirts, bro.
yeah, we should.
Not yet.
Maybe.
Soon. I'm telling you.
Soon.
I'm telling you,
Soon.
like if Dakota and I deliver on the vision that we feel like we have, and the social media aspect of like being consistent and posting the type of content we envision, it will be really fucking big. Like I just have this thing in my mind where I feel like it's gonna be big.
We're gonna have a waiting list.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
like
we got a waiting list for the
That's true.
fulfillment, so
we do. But like with the product development side, like it is hard, right? Because you're asking someone to aid you in growing your business, which costs money. And that takes away from the amount of money you can put towards inventory. So truthfully, hiring someone like us is a complete luxury. Like you have to have a lot of money. You can't come into this business like, I mean, we turned away a client yesterday or 2 days ago. Like, you can't tell us you got $10,000 and try to build a brand with us. You better have at least $100,000. Like, I'm not even kidding now.
Yeah.
Now I know why Derek said like $500,000 because like it's true. Like if you don't
it's a
have
lot
this,
bigger the commitment than people kind of
yeah,
realize.
100%. Like
I
don't
mean,
come-
you definitely could start a brand with $10,000, but you just have to do everything yourself.
Can you? Yes, but I'm saying like hiring us, you need 100
Right,
bands.
yeah.
You need
Yeah.
100 bands.
And there's a reason for that, right? Like when you start your own brand or whatever, like, I feel like I've seen it a few times, even with what we're going into. Like someone started a company with $300 and now she makes $300,000 every year.
Yeah,
So it's just like, oh, people see that and they feel like they can quick turnaround.
yeah.
But what is it that's going to set you apart in what you're doing? Are you just doing like, a makeshift thing that you can get on Alibaba or whatever? Are you doing something custom or like, what are you going for?
And I also don't like. I do want to get to a point where I'm not accepting. We're not going to accept clients if we don't feel like their product is special enough. Like I get it. Like it becomes this whole money thing of like, damn, we can make a fuck ton of money, but if we have a waiting list that's strong enough, we don't need to accept everybody.
Well, I think with the way we run our business and how we like treat ourselves as partners in our clients' businesses, like if we don't believe in the product that we're making, like we're not gonna
Yeah.
like, make a good product. You know what I mean? But like whereas like stuff that we're passionate about and like really excited about, it makes it easier for us to do our job and create a better product.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this new client that we just accepted, like So Yoon, like his product is not unique, right? But it's where he comes from that's gonna make this shit big. Like his
Yeah,
cheat code.
It's his vision that.
Yeah,
is
his
exciting,
vision,
right?
but
Yeah.
also like his knowledge is what's gonna make this product probably bigger than every other person that's selling this exact product. Just because his resources is crazy.
And you could tell that he thought about it, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not something like, it's not like an iPhone
Yeah.
charger or something like you
Yeah.
could have done like any cookie cutter kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it has a little bit of purpose. And then I think with his timeline and timing of the TikTok app, like,
Yeah.
you know, it'll be,
Yeah, that's
I
why
mean, he
like,
knows that shit. He
really
built
cool.
it. So
yeah.
It's really cool.
And that's why I want to hammer on the social media aspect of this business soon, because like Relay and well, essentially Relay Distro, like we can get away with posting a video a week, but with soon we need to post 2 TikToks a day.
Yeah.
We got to post at least 1 to 2 YouTube videos a week. We got to post multiple reels, like not just 2. We're not posting a grid. We got to post like 10 reels from that one fucking video, and TikToks too. You know, like it's a totally different
Pump out
caliber.
content. Yeah.
It's a totally different caliber of content that we have to deliver on.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to find.
What
this
is y'all's long term, or what are y'all's goals for the end of this year for the product development?
It's her first, I guess. It's her pot. She's the guest, you know.
it's her fun.
Everybody,
I'm just
you're the
glad
guest.
just glad we're not talking about the mafia anymore. I think for me, like my personal goal would be to absorb a lot more information about this avenue, I guess, that I get to explore, because it's not necessarily what my exact background is in. You know, I do website development and, you know, product kind of development and stuff like that in a different way, and customer service and stuff like that. So I think understanding the creation of something, whatever it may be, and absorbing your knowledge, I think is one of my biggest goals. Like I want to be able to understand when you talk about things, like I can spitball off of it or take meetings for you or whatever the case is. And then I agree with what you said earlier. I feel like we could get 8 to 10 clients like in the next
Really
few months.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You just got to be consistent with it. Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah, 10 clients is well, I'm trying to make this business like within the first fiscal year over 7 figures in terms of revenue generating. Like,
I mean, if you think about it, each client, however many collections they have, the products that they're going for, you know, like that's
yeah, I definitely want like over
obtainable.
hundreds. Yeah.
over $1 million is my goal
Yeah.
in terms of
First
like
year for this one.
gross. Yeah. If we could do it proper, we can grow the team. You know, we can. You know, it'll be a smaller team.
I
right?
think that's
3
the
to 5.
thing, the main thing, right? Proper setting up the structure and like
Yeah, learning this
like we
new
were,
app.
like we were talking about, you know, making sure that every customer is getting the same service and nothing's lacking.
Yeah.
And this
long as we
new
can
app
stay
that
on
we're
top of
fucking
that.
learning is gonna
Yeah.
be huge, bro.
Oh yeah, this app is crazy.
That shit is crazy. It's so complex, but obviously once we get it
worth it.
down, it's gonna be worth it. Yeah.
It's like the ClickUp of pro dev,
That's awesome.
which is insane because
Yeah.
it has everything
Yeah.
in there. So
Awesome.
yeah, my definitely my goal, like not just with the business side, but like mastering this program is gonna be a huge one for me.
Yeah.
Because like I've just been doing things raw, right?
Yeah.
Like we pass it on, like you do the tech packs.
Dude,
you do
I
the-
always believe in like if there's software that can help us.
yeah, I feel like
whatever, you
software
know,
also
like-
helps me learn because it's like an organized platform where like I can go in and absorb that information and like structure it in my brain.
Well,
Whereas
especially like if we have 10, 20 clients and then we have like 3 or 4 project managers, like just everybody being able to manage it all in one space, like it's going to be
Yeah.
really great for us.
Yeah.
cool.
Nice. Well, I think Dakota, we can cross the finish line on that note. You know, thanks for hopping on the podcast. Enjoyed having you as our first employee
I
guest.
know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Really cool to kind of get to know you guys on a different level. So, but maybe we'll also do a part 2. You know, once we're doing more pro dev stuff and just kind of
Yeah.
jump on a podcast and do some reflection and stuff like that. Kind of how we do with Austin. We can do some of those with Dakota as well.
Yeah, like when we first officially like launched soon, you know? And then what it turns into, because we'll be creating content like nobody's business.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, but yeah, so thanks again to our listeners at home for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed Dakota's story and you know the direction that we're going with this company.
Thanks for
To the
having
moon.
me. To the moon.
Yeah.
To the moon ski. XOXO.
We're glad you're here.
Show.